I investigated the country where it's illegal to be fat by Will Tennyson. I think that's also the same guy that wore the fat suit, which was super interesting. Yeah, I think that's interesting, right? I don't. Well, it's probably not illegal to be fat, but you're probably less likely to be fat. It's also harder to be fat, I'm assuming, to become fat. Anyways, also please consider liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yeah, we're going in. I like going in something.
Don't be fat, don't be ugly, don't be poor.
I'm sure you know, like, it's like the plastic surgery capital.
That's just crazy. Don't be fat, don't be poor, whatever. Yes, he is. Yeah, he is. Your weakness disgusts me. I'll show you strength.
Do you think an overweight foreigner coming to visit Korea would have a negative experience?
Sadly, I've heard that a lot.
South Korea, the world's beauty capital, where being fat isn't just frowned upon, you're openly shamed.
Down! For skin nutrition and wound healing. Is that an AI generated, like a poster of like not being fat? That's crazy. That is crazy.
Shop owners will clearly say to you like, oh, yeah, there's no clothes for you.
In a country where appearance can feel like currency, the pressure to be thin is everywhere. On billboards, subway floors, and storefront windows.
I have to go back. Hold up. Wait a second. Wait a fucking minute.
Feel like currency, the pressure to be thin is everywhere. On billboards, subway floors.
Stop. I didn't see that properly. Hold up. Come on.
Everywhere. On billboards, subway floors.
Korean subway stations under fire for offensive signs. Thin people, stairs. Fat people. That's crazy.
And storefront windows. A constant reminder to change and be better. Creating a standard so intense it's driving a surge in weight loss drugs, extreme.
Yeah, that makes sense. Momo survives on ice cubes to lose weight. Ice cubes? What the fuck?
Dieting and potentially something much worse.
Okay, so I have to get to 75 kilograms?
I'm here to find out just how bad it really is.
Welcome to South Korea, everybody. Before we get started with the day, I want to see what level of freak show the locals are going to see me as. So behind me, there's a fat test that are in all the parks in Korea. They really just said, let's gamify emotional damage. So whatever I get here is going to dictate how I feel about myself today and probably how I eat. So according to Google Translate, this first one here, it says, you're an alien, ... I mean, I'd rather be
Damn!
called an alien than a fat ass. So I guess if I can't fit through this, I'm not considered human. That was very close. This next one is, you shouldn't be like this, which kind of sounds like a threat.
Holy fuck, bro. What the fuck? Yo! That's crazy.
Oh my God, I'm scraping it. We didn't pass that with flying colors. Level 3, you have a slim heart. Passive aggressive. No! I have a slim body. Okay.
He can still fit through it.
We're good there. Okay, so the next one is just chubby. So not as wordy.
But he's like very fit. That's not possible. He's incredibly fit though. Crazy.
As the other ones, but still just as hurtful. Chubby. I think this is changing the breakfast plans very quickly. No. Crazy to think that I'm considered chubby in Korea, because I like to think that I'm a pretty...
That man is not chubby. It's his chest muscle. That man is not fitting through that. Like, do you have a slim heart? I would not fit. I would have the same problem as he has with 25 centimeters. The exact same problem. I would not fit through there.
good shape. So after chubby, here we have average, which I would never be so grateful to be called mid in my entire life. I'd love to be average. And then we have thin, thin, And then here says skinny, and it looks like they've removed actually one of the poles here, because maybe like it was probably too extreme. Like I don't even think a 90-day fast and a caved-in rib cage I could fit through that, because like thin, barely my quad goes through that. And the crazy thing about all of this is that this is literally in the middle of a children's park, and they're probably gonna see this as a game, and you wanna beat the game. So I just go to this, and if I can't fit through it, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to be able to fit through it eventually. So I think it just causes a lot of issues. Korea has a 0-calorie and 0-sugar obsession, and because of that, there's tons of different spots that cater towards that. So if I wanna be able to fit through that tree a little later on, there's certain things that we have to do. So the first spot that we're checking out is the Zero store. So 0 calories and 0 employees. This is just kind of like a serve yourself kind of place. This is pretty sick. I just feel like I found a loophole in my fitness journey. No way. They have 0.
I found a loophole in my fitness journey. But yeah, shit must not, that shit is also not healthy probably, right? It's like full with chemicals and other shit. Like, would you want to really consume that still? In my humble opinion, you probably would not. But yeah, you'd lose weight here, indeed.
Calorie ice cream? That's sick packaging, like 0 cal. 0 sugar. They have 0 calorie peanut butter, which sounds like I'd rather have a nut allergy than taste that. Then a bunch of high protein foods here. This is sick. Wow. I've never seen a Coke Zero tall boy. Oh, I have to get that. That's so.
Look how happy bro looked. Look how happy bro looked. Bro looked like he discovered. Look how happy he is. Look how happy he is. Bro just discovered gold. That's cute. That's adorable.
Sick. I wonder if they have 0 calorie pizza. Just like cardboard that has a tomato scent. 43-gram protein in that? That's a hefty boy. I swear, I think this must be what heaven looks like.
There was so many different options of 0-calorie, 0-sugar snacks to choose from, especially jelly, which is often seen as Korean Ozempic, providing you with something to fill your stomach with little to no calories at all.
All this unsupervised protein is pretty incredible. Koreans must be trustworthy. All right, so we got a few things from the Zero store. We got to start off with the 0-calorie ice cream.
That's probably just like fucking Coke Zero but frozen.
I don't, like, what is this? Is this supposed to be like great white shark flavor? Like, it doesn't really tell me anything, and I can't really understand the back of it, but it's pretty in your face about being 0 calories, so you really can't forget it. All right, so visually,
that's horrible. Sorry, but visually, that's horrible. That really does look like a frozen 0-calorie drink. I'm sorry, but visually, that looks horrible.
shark-like, as in gray and ominous. It looks like meat that's been left in the freezer for like a month. It smells actually fire though. Wow, what? Not as offensive as I thought it was gonna be. That's actually quite good. There's a lot of flavor going on. I thought it was gonna be very neutral. It's very fruit punchy. Oh. When you bite it, it doesn't taste bad. It just doesn't taste like anything, really. Just the outside's very fruity. Inside's nice and like red like that. But
I don't know, sorry. Hot take. I don't like the watery ice cream, really, all ice really that much, right? It's not even ice cream, right? It's just ice. I really am an enjoyer of ice cream that includes milk. And I highly doubt you'd be able to, you know, use that for 0 calories, so there's that.
if I was on a diet to keep my mouth out of trouble, very good. We're gonna be trying the infamous cutting jelly, as in the malnutrition maximizer, because there's literally, I mean, there's nothing in it, 0 calories. This is just really to fill volume in your stomach. Not bad. Have a couple of these, like 3 of them for breakfast and you're good. Crazy to think right now as we speak, I'm losing weight eating ice cream and jelly. There's no calories in it, but I'm burning calories talking to you. Think about that. We got a protein muffin, 200 calories, which practically at this point feels like a binge. I don't know if I should do it, I kind of feel bad. I want to fit through that tree. Nailed it. Just a chubby boy in Korea enjoying a muffin.
Running on just 200 calories for the day, I headed to another spot built entirely around low-calorie, zero-sugar options.
We're in a
Zero cafe? That's crazy. Coffee, drink, dessert, no sugar, low calorie. If you watch the queso horror stuff, just asking. Nope, I haven't. Not yet.
zero sugar cafe right now, where the owner actually invented their own sweetener called Swellow. Not to be confused with the Pokemon. But as you can see, they have protein overnight oats.
Golden, he had ball knowledge. He knows what Swellow is. That's a Pokemon. 3rd generation. Normal flying. And a useless bird.
No sugar added cream pudding. I got 2 spoons with my order, so I don't know if I'm being fat shamed right now, because to me, this looks like a meal for one. But maybe she thinks that I need to share it. The chubby boy over here. But we got the overnight oats. We got a drink. I've given this place multiple opportunities to earn my trust. So it's sugar-free, low-calorie, and gluten-free. So my mouth isn't exactly watering over here, but you never know. Let's try this overnight oats. Oh, it's thick. Just put it in right like that. I love when it's thick. If it doesn't fight back a little,
Pause, bro. What do you mean by that? He loves when it's thick. Pause. Calm down. Calm down. The way he looks at me. Stop. Crazy.
I don't want it. That's fire. My blood sugar isn't spiking, but my happiness levels definitely are. So flavorful. Swellow needs to be FDA approved ASAP. How many calories? Wow. Now we have this coffee drink with a sugar-free foam on the top. It's a buttered pecan flavor. Scrumptious. So far,
Somax, we need to go to North Korea. You'd also lose calories because you're because there's no food. We need to go to South Korea ASAP. Right? We'll no longer be chunky. We have an idea here. I'm gonna do it.
we have been given every opportunity to be skinny and no opportunity to blame the food.
After eating, I met up with Korean-American content creator Daniel Oh, who uses psychology, philosophy, and his cross-cultural perspectives to help women build self-love.
So am I considered kind of like chubby in Korea?
Not chubby, you would just be considered like a buff dude. If you look at the vast majority of like idols, for example, they're really skinny. I even have a friend who was an idol trainee, but he started working out and he wasn't even like bodybuilder big. Like he was probably around my size, and they were like, you can't be an idol anymore because you're too big.
Wow.
So they actually dropped him from the trainee program because they were like, you're gonna be too big compared to everybody else on stage.
What is the ideal male and
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. They're really like, bro, you're lifting too much. You can no longer be an idol. What the fuck? Both Koreas are a dystopia. It is real. Bro, that means I would not be able to be an idol. At 70 kg, I could still not be an idol.
female physique?
I think for men, it's the same anywhere in the world. You gotta be tall, right? So if you're 180 and above, that's like, you're considered handsome because you got that going for you. Yeah, so Will definitely would be considered a handsome guy in Korea. But actually, I could use just Will as an example of like why
I'm cooked. I'm below 5'11" or 180 centimeters, 10 centimeters short. I'd be something else in Korea, I guess.
you would be considered a handsome guy by
Really?
Korean standards.
Okay.
Yeah, so you also have what's considered like a small face.
Okay.
So in Korean society, when people say you're beautiful or you're handsome for men or women, one of the things they'll comment on is like, wow, you have such a small face. Basically what it means is like, if you look at the proportion of your face to the rest of your body, like it looks smaller, right? And so that's what people mean by having a small face. It has a lot to do with proportions.
Okay.
And of course you have like a very defined jawline. So I think in that regard, it's not too different from what the standard would be for men anywhere you go in the world, right? And then for women, this is like super stringent standards. There's like a specific angle of like your forehead to your nose, and then
Bruh. They have this all figured out. They have literal mathematicians there figuring out what's the perfect face shape. That's diabolical. You can't be an idol, Pookie-chan. I'll only ever be your idol. You know this.
Angle of like your nose to this part of your face right here.
Wow.
And so like those angles are all like measured according to like what's called the golden ratio or the Fibonacci sequence. If you are, I think, over 60, I would say like 4 kilograms, you're considered like chubby for a,
64 kilograms.
yeah, for a Korean woman.
Regardless of the height.
Yeah, regardless of the height too. Yeah, it's tough because nowadays Korean women, like, they are also conscious of like their breast size, but because like naturally Korean women just don't have a lot of like subcutaneous fat, it's hard to get that naturally. So one of the most common procedures that women will get is like breast implants, right? And it's like, again, sometimes you can kind of tell because it's like you have a very skinny woman, but her like breasts are large, and it's kind of like, well, how do you get that? That's kind of like, I would say, the most toxic aspect of the beauty standard that Korea is known for.
As soon as we started walking,
The boobs, 84, it's chubby, bruh. Damn. That's rough. That's rough. You can send it to me, but this will be the last video of the day. You can send it to me.
we were flooded with more zero-calorie stores on every corner, plastic surgery ads everywhere, and impossible beauty standards at every turn.
These are the kinds of signs that you see in front of every single gym. Like, talk about a transformation.
What the that is almost, that's impossible, mind you, by the way. Mind you, these are impossible. I'm just saying it the way it is. All of this is heavily edited. This is essentially almost impossible. Unless you're like, seriously naturally gifted.
Like, I don't think I've ever related so hard to a before side of a transformation in my life. Like, when I see this, I don't see motivation or inspiration, I just see pressure. So these ads on the wall, this is not possible to be attained naturally.
You can get it naturally, but there are some markers that show that it is plastic surgery. So for example, this like angle from forehead to nose bridge is kind of what I was talking about earlier, of like that ideal angle that like women want. And then this like pointed nose and this angle from like here to here, again, more often than not, you actually need an implant to get that pointy nose, because it's very rare to see that like just naturally through genetics.
And then the husky blue eyes.
Yeah, so the lenses, now it's to the point where like a lot of women will feel self-conscious going out and not wearing lenses because it's just become so, you know, commonplace.
So would you
Ain't no fucking way. They're even essentially almost forced to wear contact lenses. That's so interesting. I'm barely under the chubby weight. Low key, they might consider me chubby after a big meal. I just think there's more to love.
say anime has a big impact on the style and how people look?
I think it has a lot more to do with Korea is such a trend-driven country. So if they see like, oh, you know, this influencer that I follow on social media started wearing colored lenses,
Yeah,
like
everyone
I
does
want to
it.
do that too. Yeah, and then like trends just move so fast.
So we're walking by a bunch of these markets and the clothing is so small, it's insane.
On this tag over here, it says F, which stands for free. So free size is basically the idea that like it's like stretchable. So if you're a Korean person, you should be able to
It's
fit.
like one size fits all.
Yeah, but as you can see here, it's not a very friendly size for a lot of foreigners, right?
I feel like I'm at a pet store shopping for my dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like in the States, I'd see this at like the children's place.
Yeah.
You know, but
What
like,
the- I think that if I went into a store and asked for my size, they would just hand me a salad or something. Like that is great. I don't even think my quad could fit in that.
yeah, I think that's actually, you're right. Yeah, that's like the size of one of your quads.
Bruh, yeah, he's not fitting in there at all. Right? He's not fitting in there at all. That's just crazy. Right? He's not fitting in there whatsoever. Wow.
That's literally my quad. I have a mini schnauzer at home. This would fit him, I think.
But we wanted to see if the men's clothes had more realistic sizes.
So I kind of want Will to try this one because it says here OF, which stands for overfit, and it's
OF. I thought that would stand for something else anyways. Or BK, Burger King. That is not fitting me. Me neither.
the idea that like it's a baggier fit. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. I literally cannot fit my head through it.
there is a button if you want to unbutton that thing there and see if you could pull it through.
There we go. Oh. I mean, I can get it on.
Like if a Korean dude was wearing it, it's supposed to be very loose, but now you just look like a private school.
He looks so goofy in this, right? For especially, right? You can see his like his tone, like even right. It's supposed to be baggy, but you can see his chest muscles through this. That ain't ever fitting me. That could still definitely fit me, right? That can fit me, right? Because I'm like, right? I'm shorter, so this could still fit me, and definitely smaller than he is. But that could still fit me.
I look like a school boy.
That's supposed to be like a baggier fit, I believe, but you make it look like a regular fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only had to fly halfway across the world for my calves to feel above average. But the fact that this is oversized, I kind of feel fat.
Dieting alone can't always get you the body that you want, which is why Korea is packed with beauty clinics promising to speed up the process.
Hi, we just wanted to see like if you have like a menu of different like fat loss options. Lipolysis injection. So these are kind of like the fat melting injections that I talked about.
Okay.
So they got like stuff for double chin over here, contouring for the face, and it's 99,001 for a session. So that would be like around right now with the exchange rate maybe
$90?
No, not even. Like maybe like $70. So this is like specifically targeting arms, thighs, abdomen. It's like very popular because again, it's like it's hard to actually do the work of like eating properly, moving properly, right? But it's like why do all that when you can just melt it up?
Interesting. That is interesting menu. Yeah, tiny little duck, pocket friendly. Yeah. Nah, it's not that bad, but I know somebody who's bed friendly. Menu. A menu.
Yeah, and like the proportions that are where like people want to see are literally impossible to get. So
Exactly.
you have to do it this way.
That's right, because you can't target fat loss through natural means, right?
You guys want to see the ampoules, right? This is the violet injection, one of the most famous fat melting injection in the world. It actually kills the fat tissue.
Are some of the people coming in pretty young asking for this stuff?
Yeah, sometimes, but usually 40 to 50.
Would you ever have any like thinner people come in requesting stuff like this?
Ungs and hags coming in. Makes sense.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
but I try to tell him to do another thing, like more smooth way. This is kind of aggressive way to reduce fat.
So what do you think of Korea's body image culture?
Unimportant. Actually, I like it because I get money from those kind of culture, but I don't
Okay.
think that is that super dangerous thing because cultures from the America or the Europe, they are really damaging their health. Ideal culture must be between the European style and Asian style.
What's your opinions on Korean beauty standards?
Yeah, so I'm French. I feel it's much more standardized in Korea. So yeah.
Yeah. When you moved here, did you look a lot different than you do now?
So when I moved here, I was overweight basically. There was kind of a pressure myself to fit in. Like in France or in Europe, you will never have, how to say, kind of negative remarks. But in Korea, they'll be like, that's why you're fat or something.
Also, they're a lot more like forward here.
Yeah, exactly. Which, to be honest, is not that bad. Once I've lost weight, it's like much more direct. Also on the other way.
If I did gain a little bit, people would make a comment straight away and say like, oh, you gained some weight. And the whole reason to make that comment is like, I noticed you, or like I care about you. And so you're supposed to feel good. Like you're supposed to be like, oh, she noticed and like she really cares about me and she thinks I should lose weight for my health.
Are Korean
I can see both sides. I feel like it's obnoxious if it's like constantly pointed out, but at the same time, I get it in a way. Right? I get it. I get it in a way. Right? Because like it stops people from being massively overweight, right? We have a massive problem in Europe and the United States, where people are getting fatter and fatter. Honestly, though, yeah, it's like there can be an in between. I guess if you point it out nicely, I guess I could see it, but like, I don't know. Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult without like if you did that here, you'd offend people, right? They'd fucking kick your head in.
It's a lot more direct with how you look, because I feel like in North America, if someone gained weight, you wouldn't really say it, but maybe you just like think it. So here they actually would just tell you straight to your face.
Straight to your face. Even like when I meet up with my friends and I haven't seen them in a while, if like my skin is looking worse, they'll be like,
They'll
oh,
just tell you.
yeah, you just got some, looks like you got some trouble on your face. If I look a little bit bigger, like the first thing they'll be like, oh my God, your face looks a little bigger than the last time I saw you. You look like you gained some weight. Or like vice versa, you look like you lost weight.
Do you like how forward people are in Korea, or what do you think about that?
솔직히 말하자면 조금 처음 보는 사이에서도 약간 무리하게 이쁘다 아니면 뭐좀 코가 만약에 크면은 뭐 코가 크다든지 이런 식으로 좀 중심적으로 외모에 대해서는 말하는 게 있어서 그게 좀 저는 좀 무례한 것 같다고 생각하고.
Could you ask her to tell me like the first thing she thinks about when she sees me, and to not worry I won't get offended?
이제 솔직히 말씀해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
처음에는 일단 키가 큰 게 눈에 띄었고요.
혹시 전체적인 체중에 대해서 그런 거는 눈에 띄는 건 없었어요?
체중? 네. 그런 건 눈에 띄었던 것 같아요. 몸이 좋은.
If we were a longtime friends and you saw me for the first time, like what would you have to say to me?
There's a golden proportion of your face I learned recently. It's like 1, 1, and 0.8. So maybe your like bottom is a bit long, like this part.
My bottom's a bit long. That's it?
The fact that they can point this out is insane to me, right? I would not be able to point this out. The fact that they can do that is actually... That's wild to me, right? That's crazy that they can point this out.
Like you could get some facial for your skin.
Is it hard being a girl in Korea?
I think so. There's many things that girls need to do to upkeep their appearances.
시선 같은 게 좀 여자들이 좀 뚱뚱하면은 뒤에서 말 나오는 것도 있고 몇 번 들리는 말도 있으니까 그런 것 때문에 더 신경이 쓰이는 것 같아요.
We've been walking around looking for interviews, but we were getting no luck with girls because they're all just like, they don't have makeup on, their hair's not done, their outfit's not good. So most of them are rejecting us right now. It's like they want to do it, but they just don't feel confident enough to be on camera right now.
Actually, the person we just asked, she does have makeup on and she still didn't want to do it because she wasn't confident in
She needs
makeup.
more makeup on. So we've been asking girls to do interviews, and a lot of them are just like, oh, I have no makeup on, I can't. Like, is that very just common?
Oh yeah. If
Okay.
you like leave the house without makeup on, then mostly you'd wear a cap or like a mask to cover your face.
When looking for like a girlfriend, like what kind of a traits are you attracted to?
Buddy, they're not looking for girlfriends, as we can tell. Asking that Koreans is hilarious, considering that, you know, they got no girlfriends out here. They're cooked.
일단 외적으로 봤을 때는 저는 약간 좀 눈이 크고 좀 예쁜 헤어스타일이 있는 사람을 좀 좋아하는 것 같아요. 그리고 약간 내적으로 봤을 때는 뭔가 자기 일에 집중하고 뭐랄까 자기 본인의 일을 할 때 좀 행복해하는 사람을 좀 바라는 것 같아요.
What's the main reason, in your opinion, as to why a lot of people in Korea are so skinny?
근데 그게 조금 사람들이 보기에 건강해 보일 수도 있다고 생각을 하고 또 뚱뚱하면 좀 건강하지 않다는 생각을 가지고 있는 것도 같기도 해요. 또 이게 사람들의 생각으로는 이 신체 그러니까 이 체중을 빼는 것은 좀 자기 노력으로 되는 부분이라고 생각을 하기 때문에 좀 스키니한 몸매를 좀 더 이상적으로 보지 않나 이렇게 생각해요.
How do you think Korean people look at fat people on the street?
Mostly that they don't care about themselves and they don't care about their family too, because a lot of the family members usually, as I mentioned, if you gain a bit of weight, you would say something. So
Okay.
it's kind of like you didn't care about what your family said, or your family are not pointing out that you're unhealthy.
Would you associate skinny with being healthy?
To a certain point, I think it can contribute to like better health because I think having more weight on you can really hurt your knees a lot and your joints. That's one of my.
I mean, they aren't wrong in a sense, right? It's unhealthy, right? Straight up, right? That's just the truth, right? That's not a deniable truth, right? If you're overweight, you're unhealthy. Naturally, right? Makes sense. And while when you're young, you're not gonna really feel the consequences. When you get older, you will, especially since like fat tissue really doesn't leave anymore once that's the case.
Problem that my parents have, so I think that kind of weight really, if they didn't have it, I think they'd be feeling a lot better and they'd be a lot healthier for sure.
So would you rather be skinny or healthy?
I think be healthy. I mean,
However, right, skinny doesn't always mean healthy, because that can also mean that you lack nutrition, which is the opposite. I think that aiming for healthy is much better, right? That is much better. Now, it depends on you, right? They have a completely different definition of skinny, right? My definition of skinny is healthy, right? When you're healthy, you should naturally be skinny. When you're old, every kilogram feels a lot. It's also like the older you get, the harder it is to lose it at the end of the day, right? That's also something.
I think some of them kind of overlap in some extent.
Yeah.
But I think being healthy is more important, and just living like a long and happy life is more important.
Do you think an overweight foreigner coming to visit Korea would have a negative experience?
Sadly, I've heard that a lot. Shopping is difficult too, and when you go shopping, the shop owners will clearly say to you like, "Oh, yeah, there's no clothes for you." Like the reaction is very obvious, and I think they feel a bit left out sometimes.
Are there any extremes that people do to like look a certain way here?
I mean, I think the most extreme one, or the most obvious one, is like plastic surgery. But I know there's like, especially with the women, they go on like really crazy diets. Back like 10 years ago, there's this one K-pop idol called IU. I don't know if you know her.
No.
But one of her diets went like infamous because like all she ate for the day was like one sweet potato, like one apple, and like ice cubes or something. So she'd have like 200, 300 calories for the day, and that like she lost like 10, 15 kilos in like 2 weeks or something, or a month or something.
And then a lot of people follow that, right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of women tend to follow that kind of thing. So yeah, it's definitely very severe.
K-pop starvation diets don't just stay in the industry. They reshape how people everywhere see food and body image. When extreme restriction
Which is crazy, right? My definition of health is if you can keep up with family on outings, being active. What even fat people can do that, right? So that's not the definition, right? When it comes to weight, it should be proportional to your height. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Though your weight should be proportional to your height. BMI is the word, right? And what people say, oh yeah, BMI is not accurate. Actually, this. Now, the BMI necessarily does not correlate with healthy, because, right, you can be overweight, but also have a lot of muscle instead of fat, right? You're still overweight, right? I could be, right? 80 kg would be overweight for me, right? Would be. But it could be 10 kilograms of muscle, right? That's the problem. That could all be muscle. That's the only thing the BMI really doesn't account for.
is framed as discipline and constant hunger starts to feel like progress instead of a warning sign, that mindset spreads fast, with people normalizing undereating and fearing calories just to chase an unrealistic look, like calling 130 calories a meal or using formulas like height minus 120 as a body weight goal. So I spoke with a K-pop singer who had to stay anonymous to avoid backlash about what that
makes sense, right? They don't want to be called out. We aren't talking about weight, kiddo. We're talking about what we consider healthy. And that's my definition of healthy. When you're active, that's your definition of healthy, but it's not that doesn't necessarily mean somebody's healthy. Active does not equal healthy. For example, they can be active, but their diet is slowly killing them. Are they still healthy? That's not really, that doesn't really matter, right? When it comes to healthy, there is an objective reality, right? You can't be subjectively healthy. Doesn't work.
pressure actually feels like behind the scenes.
Do you think there's a lot of pressure on you to be skinny?
Yes, for my fans.
Is that good?
I don't think so, but my fans need like that.
Korea ranks very high on rates.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be?
Idol culture.
Idol culture.
Yes. They need skinny shape and pretty face.
So this rates being so high, you think are related to the K-pop culture?
Yeah, I think so.
So the girl back in the cafe said that she needs to be skinny for her fans. Does that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I would imagine that like a lot of her success is gonna depend on her followers and fans hyping her up, sharing her music, and just continuing to engage with her content. But if she were to gain weight, then they're just gonna like lose all interest in her because
regardless of talent?
Oh yeah, regardless of talent, because it's just kind of like, no matter how talented you are, it's not like I couldn't find 15 other people who are equally as talented as you. So if you wanna make it, you have to be talented and you gotta be beautiful. And you
Well, isn't that usually normal, right? Yeah, that's how bad it gets. Yep. Self-deletion. I mean, if it is killing them, they won't really stay active, hence it's unhealthy. Not really. I was healthy. I was active when I was starve maxing. Do you know this? I was also still pretty active when I was overweight. I wasn't healthy. People take steroids and are active. That's not healthy. See, active does not equal healthy. That's the problem.
You gotta be a great dancer, rapper, like that's the industry.
So we found a place for lunch called Preppers, which it kind of sounds like contest prep, like you're prepping for something. And then the funny thing is, it says Preppers diet food, not healthy food, because I feel like healthy food wouldn't be as much of a draw to go in. Like diet just sounds like more like weight loss, right?
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. That would be my guess too. And yeah, I think it is for like weightlifters, and I see more and more popping up all over the place.
So a bunch of pasta bowls, rice bowls. You recommend the double bowl?
Yes, for me, only the double bowl gives me enough protein. Combo comes with a drink. For example, amino drink over here.
Oh, you
I
get
think,
amino
yeah,
drinks.
that's one of their things that they're known for. I have yet to try it, but I heard it's pretty good. So, and then they got like protein milkshakes and stuff.
Protein coffee milkshake, that sounds amazing. Like places like this in North America, like don't.
Holy fuck. I'm getting hungry, dude! I'm still not ready. Stop. I'm getting hungry. This is good. This is peak. This is great.
Show up. And I feel like that's because there's like, they don't think there'd be enough traction.
Right.
So I feel like there's obviously a lot of traction and like demand for this.
Yeah. Like for me, when I first came to Korea, they didn't have shops like this. So I missed like Chipotle or like Kava, because you could get pretty good macros for those, even though they have like high sodium. But you know, now they got stuff like this.
It's not every day you see a fountain drink station where it's only the zero sugar stuff. I feel like Coke Zero is.
I'm gonna say this. I think it's crazy that there's still people out there who would rather take the regular ones, right? Because like the zero and the regular ones, there's barely any difference. The only difference is in the way they're sweetening it. That's it. And they're both pretty much equally harmful. So why are you choosing the fat making one? That's like very interesting.
Water here, and I respect that. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
When a place has Sprite Zero, you just know it's gonna slap because this is a rarity. Like this is a rare
Really?
find. Most places have Coke Zero. Sprite Zero? You don't know how lucky you got it, man.
Wow, it's everywhere here in Korea, so I just assumed that it was.
I have never. Now that he mentions it, I've never seen a Sprite Zero anywhere. Sprite Zero is a thing? I've never in my life seen a Sprite Zero, right? I've seen Coke Zero. I've even seen Fanta Zero. But I've never seen a Sprite Zero. That is so interesting.
Wow. And also the fact that this place is 24 hours is insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I love that, yeah.
Oh, I wanted to get the pasta bowl, but I feel like if I ordered that, I would have got bullied or something. It seems like a trap. Like who gets the pasta in Korea? All right, here we go.
You want to make sure you mix it all up nice. Ooh, that's a big boy bite.
So good.
Good?
Nice. I like that it's a reflective plate. You know, so you get to the bottom of the plate, and you can see your skinnier reflection when you're done. What would you say is like a big factor in Korea's low obesity rate? Would you say it's all lifestyle, or is there any like genetic components to that?
So I think one of the things that people don't know is that in addition to the social pressure that there is to stay thin and stay healthy, East Asians have a way lower subcutaneous fat cell count than our Western counterparts. And this is quite common in Korea. Well, you'll see like those skinny fat body types, right? Well, you'll see men or women that don't look that fat, but they have really high visceral fat levels just because there's not a lot of subcutaneous fat that can hold it. So they won't look as big, but they'll still have heart issues, diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, like all across the board. So it doesn't take that much size for a Korean person to be equally as unhealthy as like, you know, a European-based or, yeah.
Okay. How many calories would you say this bowl is?
If I had to guess, I would put it around 600?
Okay, I was gonna be like around 700. Have you heard of Macro Factor?
I haven't.
It's the quickest and easiest way to track your calories.
Okay.
And if you don't have a place.
My boy that is the okay, that's a crazy way to add that, like do the advertisement for this. That is crazy. Smart. This man's smart. I like him.
It has the calories on in your bowl. Take a photo, and it gets pretty close.
That'd be awesome.
So, boom, uploading. So it even says the rice, steak, scallions, sesame seeds. Right, so 775 calories in the plate. Yeah, it's pretty accurate. So, I mean, it tells you all the macros, and you just log it to your...
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah.
There's also a new feature where you can upload a recipe including ingredients, instructions, and servings, all with just a snap of a picture.
So if you guys want to try the Macro Factor app, make sure to use code WILL for 2 weeks free. We are now in Cheongno, which
What a sneaky way to shove that in there. Very, very smart.
is known as the obesity drug mecca of the world. And literally, every single building is a pharmacy just selling fat loss drugs. It's actually pretty insane. So there's a pharmacy right here, and then there's a pharmacy right here, and then literally like 5 more feet, there's another pharmacy right here, and then next door is another pharmacy, and then across the street, there's more pharmacies over there, which is like, I don't know why you need this many pharmacies. I guess the demand is super, super high. So we are gonna see how easy it is for me to go to a clinic, get a prescription, and get some Wegovy. Let's see. That's it here? Here. Oh shit.
Wow.
It might be busy.
Yes.
That's just diabolical. The rest of the future, I want to start going to the gym and we'll do natural, no steroids, just proteins from meat. Makes sense. Right? Makes sense. Especially your size. Though it would take longer. Because the taller you are, the harder it is to make it look visible. It's very interesting, right? When you're a man, when you're short, you can just become a manlet. Anyways. Crazy. That is crazy. They're everywhere.
네, 이 외국인 친구인데요. 그 마운자로나 위고비 처방을 받고 싶어서. What's the name that you use in Korean?
정아름님.
Will.
Will.
I just walked in, said my name, gave my ID, and it's good.
Do you have a preference of Wegovy or Mounjaro?
What does he recommend?
어떤 거를 추천해 주실 수 있을까요? He said then you would have to get a consultation with the doctor.
So I have to see him here right now?
Right now.
Is it long wait?
I don't think it's gonna take that long.
Okay. We're in the waiting room right now for the weight loss drugs. Everyone in here is also here for the same thing. People are just coming in, asking for it, and they're like, yeah, just take a seat, meet with the doctor, and you're good. So we're gonna have a prescription in like 15 minutes, which is crazy here. Here we go.
Is it your first time doing Wegovy?
Yes, first time.
How about your height?
6 foot.
How about your weight?
Around
Kilogram?
90. 90, yeah.
What is your word, the normal body weight?
I just want to get shredded.
After I gave the doctor my height, weight, and goal, he implemented my stats into a BMI chart and called me obese.
In this presentation, you will have some obesity. Your BMI index is 24.47.
And he kept adding lower weights until
Well, yes. He is. That's what I'm saying. The BMI is fucked up because it doesn't apply to bodybuilders, right? It doesn't apply to people who work out. That's the whole problem. That's the whole problem. That's why I'm saying, yeah, the BMI is useful, but it doesn't apply to people that work out, right? I'll probably still be even after I look completely normal, right? I will probably still, the BMI will probably still go like, yeah, bro, you're overweight. It's because it doesn't factor in that people work out, right? Regardless. That's crazy that essentially he's calling him fat.
put me in the normal category.
If you have some weight loss about 15 kilogram, you will enter to the normal body weight.
And I'll be healthier?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
The doctor is telling me I have to lose 15 kilograms or 33 pounds without any sort of background knowledge of my medical history or even my body composition, as fat and muscle ratios greatly impact your
That looks horrible, mind you, by the way. I don't even think he can lose this much without it probably impacting his health, which is interesting, right? He can't even lose this much, which is crazy.
BMI score, and these lax measures are causing serious harm. And just like that, within a matter of minutes, I got a prescription, adding to Korea's major drug misuse problem.
Oh, she's asking if you want to get the injection here right now.
No, I'll do it later. Yeah. All right, so this is pretty insane. We got it super easily within like 10 minutes. And there it is. So the doctor said I need to get to 75 kilograms, which now that I'm thinking about it, that's below my bodybuilding contest weight. So I think I would actually die.
Yeah, you'd be like 168 pounds.
Yeah.
and some shit. That's how much I weigh. And
See, that's what I said. He would not be able to do this. He'd die. Like, this guy, this doctor, if you could call him that, literally suggested to him to lose weight till he dies. It's really that easy. Yeah, he'd die. I knew somebody who lost weight just by gooning. That's crazy. He'd die. Right? Because, right, you need to have a certain amount of body fat percentage. I think it might be, for men, it might be like 15. And if you go below that, it'll become dangerous. I could be wrong. And then for women, it's between 20 and 30. Which is why, here's a fun fact. Having a six-pack as a woman is arguably unhealthy. If you didn't know this, here's a fun fact. It's not recommended. You can get it, but it's not necessarily recommended. Because women need to have a certain set of, right? Women need to have more body fat because they work differently. Duct take notes. I'm not going that low. I'd like to keep my 10 to 15. Well, right now it might be a little more, but it's interesting. And right? So you're not supposed to go that low for women either, right? Consequences can be no periods, hormone massive issues with hormones, hair loss, and even fertility loss. Anyways, you get the idea. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm 5'8".
Gee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they don't look at like your body fat percentage. They just go like, okay, height, weight, you're obese. And then there's no other discussion about like, do you work out consistently? Here you go. $150.
Yeah, I don't think he even asked you any questions about your overall health.
No.
Yeah. There was like no diagnosis. He was just like, oh, you want the drug? Like, okay, here's how to use it. You know, here are some side effects to explain.
Sales is sales. Hormone deficiency. Well, arguably that can happen, right? That can happen. Arguably. Under certain conditions, probably. Because you need a certain amount of testosterone, just like you need a certain amount of estrogen in your body. Otherwise, you are fucked. So technically, that's not wrong.
And I think they even offered to give you your first injection like right now.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna do that. No, I just got it for a prop. I'm not gonna use it.
It's clear Korea is facing a serious issue that can't be ignored. The relentless pressure to look a certain way, combined with a deeply ingrained culture of body shaming, is quietly taking a toll on people's lives. Over time, it doesn't just affect how you see yourself, it consumes your thoughts entirely. And eventually, you give in.
And instead, you get a saucy cookbook from him. Bite me, you crazy man. That's a crazy cookbook. Basically, Korea exaggerates on the weight. They don't factor in a lot of stuff like body fat percentage. They don't really care about health. They only care about that you're skinny, no matter the consequences. And of course, right, certain face measurements, body measurements, the booba are also apparently important now, all of a sudden, right? So, yeah, dystopia. That's really all there is to it. Terrible.